Hello, my name is Mr. Chipman, and here we are at the end of Unit 5, AP Environmental Science, Land and Water Use, 5.17, Sustainable Forestry. You know what I teach. You know where I teach it. Let's move on. So we are looking at this idea of sustainable forestry, and of course, if you're going to have sustainable forestry, you need to have reforestation. It's a good word. It's a good word of the day kind of word. This is replanting forests, restore deforested areas, right? It's a very sustainable technique. This guy seems to be giving a lot of care to that little tree that he's planting there. So let's look at some ideas behind reforestation. This is one that was new to me, shelter wood cutting. I like this idea. It's removal of mature trees in phases. So in certain phases, taking out trees so that the undergrowth trees, you can see it's a great picture here of seeing some mature trees with a lot of younger trees underneath. And so selectively taking out trees in sort of stages in order to promote the overall growth but preserve the habitat during regrowth. And so you don't have a lot of animals that are all of a sudden open to predation. They have their habitat intact still. Obviously, there's going to be some habitat loss anytime you cut down a tree, but this is going to reduce it mostly. Good stuff. All right. Certification systems. I don't have a slide for this. This is the idea that consumers can purchase wood that is harvested under particular ecological standards, and making that they're making benefits for that for both producer and consumer. I think is a really important idea as well. You see this with lots of different practices. Forest health protection. We talked about integrated pest management earlier. This is very important in forests as well. You have here, this is a picture of a tree being cut down because it's carrying a disease, right? And so by cutting that tree down, you're preventing the spread of that disease and overall health of the forest. It's a good thing. Sometimes, particularly as diseases are very easily spread throughout forests, you don't think of trees as being diseased, but they can do that. Like American chestnut tree, just read about it. So they're basically decimated because of a disease that could have possibly been prevented had it been caught in the early stages and we had better protection mechanisms. It was probably wiped out mostly by making furniture, but here we go. Prescribed burns. If you live near a forest, you're probably familiar with this. We live near LBL, or Land Between the Lakes, which is a federal recreational area and regularly has prescribed burns in the area in order to reduce the buildup of dead wood and brush in the underbrush, which is going to lower the risk of having a more catastrophic kind of forest fire. Most forested regions have fire as a normal part of their sort of cycle, right? And so fire is, particularly a big forest fire, is so detrimental to our own life cycles that these prescribed burns sort of meet it as a compromise of both things. Promotes regeneration, particularly for those species that are fire adapted. There are plants that are fire adapted. It's a normal part of their lives. Maintains ecosystem processes and biodiversity, all very good things. Of course, there's risk involved with any kind. Anytime you catch something on fire, there's risk involved with that. And catching large areas of forest, there's risk involved with that. It requires expertise, careful timing, understanding wind, weather, all of that kind of thing. Understanding the land that you're burning, understanding where people live, where the smoke's going to go, all this sort of thing. It's very important. This guy right here probably knows what he's doing. I can't imagine doing that kind of work, though it would seem fun. Let's look at some examples. Smokey the Bears, if you like you can, maybe you've been able to tell over the course of watching these many videos now, but I really like history, science history, and Smokey the Bear's fantastic historical figure. Encourage you to go read about him, but he was sort of the poster bear for safe fire practices for years. And only you can prevent forest fires, which he's right. Only you can prevent them, and so there was this sort of anti-burn mentality that led to one of the largest forest fires in United States history when Yellowstone National Park burned down, and which was bad, right? Or most of the park burned down, and so that kind of caused scientists to rethink the idea of prescribed burns, and so now we have this it's a normal part of the forestry services work is to have prescribed burns in order to prevent big forest fires. Here's a picture from Costa Rica, and I'd cross that bridge. I would love to do that. This is an example of a reforestation project that has increased ecotourism, which is a big deal, right? It brings money to the area, and also restoring lost biodiversity. Great thing. Would love to go there. Looks just wonderful. Looks kind of a little foggy. All right, let's look at some practice problem. A government forestry agency proposes to reduce the risk of catastrophic wildfires by conducting prescribed burns, which justification best supports policy. So what we're looking for here is the idea that removing dead stuff, removing underbrush, any of that is going to reduce overall fuel in the forest, which is going to reduce the risk of a larger fire. Let's go find it. Prescribed burns reduce biodiversity, but it's not the justification we're looking for here, right? Obviously, anytime you burn something, you're going to kill things. But prescribed burn provides more timber for harvesting. It doesn't. Prescribed burns lower fuel accumulation, promote natural forest regeneration. We really like C. C is a good answer. Man, Unit 5 was a long one, but it was very interesting. This idea of land and water use, not only the bad things, but the good things that we can do to prevent abuse. I wish you well on your Unit 5 exam. If you have particular questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. We're going to be looking at Unit 6 right around the corner.